Hey, it's Tigman time for this week's edition of the Metal Box, our weekly discussion on all things hard rock and heavy metal. This week we got an interview that we did with Geoff Tate, former frontman for the band Queensryche. He's getting ready to hit the road for a U.S. tour celebrating the 30th anniversary of Queensryche's Operation Mindcrime. And I asked him, among other things, what it was like to be a part of making one of the greatest heavy metal albums of all time. Also, an interesting thing he mentioned was the possibility of forming a Queensryche tribute with former Queensryche members Chris DeGarmo, guitarist, and drummer Scott Rockenfield. So check it out. This is the full interview here. It's Tigman. We got Geoff Tate with us on the phone, former frontman for Queensryche. He's got his band Operation Mindcrime. And the tour is kicking off. Where's the tour kicking off, Geoff, for the 30th anniversary?
It kicks off in, the U.S. part of the tour.
Yeah.
Starts in Lancaster, Pennsylvania.
And how many dates you doing for this U.S. run?
Oh, I think there's 3 months.
Wow.
Booked so far.
Awesome.
Yeah. It started in January in Europe, so we've been going pretty hot and heavy.
Now, how's everything going? Tell us about your band, and how's the tour been so far?
Oh, it's been great. We've played 18 or 20 countries since January. Crowds have been good. It's just been a wonderful celebration. We're playing the entire Operation Mindcrime album as a tribute to its 30-year existence, which turned 30 in May. And it's been going over really well. It's great seeing all the old fans there and their kids with them.
Right.
It's kind of strange for me, but sign of the times, It's been really great. I've been having a great time.
Does it feel like it's been 30 years since Mindcrime was released, Geoff?
Some days when you're crawling out of the bunk on the tour bus, yeah, honestly, it feels kind of rough,
Yeah.
But other days, no, it doesn't seem like 30 years could possibly have gone by. It's a strange thing to think about, but it's it all, it goes so fast. It's like a finger snap, boom, it's gone.
Right. And just an amazing album. How does it feel to have been a part of creating one of the greatest metal albums of all time, which is just a fact? It is one of the greatest metal albums ever, Operation Mindcrime.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much for that.
Yeah.
I feel it's a fine album, and I've really become sort of come to appreciate it even more 30 years down the road, playing it now. I can listen back to it and really be impressed, with what it was we created at the time, which was fantastic music. And the whole album has a feel to it that's something that's very rare, and it's like impossible to duplicate the feel of that record, on another record. I don't think it can really be, replicated. But every night we start and play the show, play the album in its entirety, and people go crazy. It's like it does something to their psyche, I think, listening to this music after all these years. It kind of revs up emotions that they had in the past, or just how they feel about the music really comes out in a live atmosphere. Tell
us about your band, Geoff. Tell us about the guys you're surrounding yourself with these days on tour.
Well, I have a whole group of fantastic musicians. I have my steadfast right hand, Scott Motton, on lead guitar, who's been with me for years and years and years. But then we've kind of surrounded ourselves with some very young, enthusiastic new players on the rock scene, which is really exciting to see, new blood in the rock music scene. And these people have grown up on the music, and kind of this is their first kind of time to play it live and to kind of immerse themselves in this sort of live lifestyle. So it's kind of catching, being around these young people and their enthusiasm for the music. And so I've got Josh Watts on drums, who's a phenomenal new drummer. Kieran Robertson on lead guitar, is a fantastic guitar player. Jack Ross is an incredibly steady bass player. And then Bruno Sá, who's from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, on keyboards and whatever other instrument I need him to play, because he's a multi-instrumentalist and plays countless instruments perfectly.
Nice. So that's good to have.
It's amazing.
You're playing the Chance in Poughkeepsie. You're no stranger to the Chance. Great venue. It's going to be on June 20th. It's a Wednesday night. You're celebrating the 30th anniversary of Operation Mindcrime. Death Do Us Part and Conquer at Will opening. Now, is it true Death Do Us Part is your daughter's band?
It is. My daughter Emily has an amazing band, and she's opening up for me. And she also comes on stage and sings the part of Sister Mary during my Mindcrime set.
How cool is that? Geoff, you've always had family involved throughout your career, you know, with a lot of your stuff that you've done. Isn't it great to be able to have your daughter's band up there? She must get a thrill out of it, too, to be able to perform with you and to open for your band.
Oh, yeah. It's a wonderful feeling, actually. And what's kind of funny about Emily's band is she told me when she was a little girl that she wanted to be a singer, you know? Mm-hmm. And I thought, well, okay, it's like most kids, you know. I've heard all my kids say, you know, I want to be a fireman when I grow up, you know, and they never become firemen or doctors or anything like that. Yeah. So I thought, okay, it's just one of those situations. But you know what? She's become a fine musician and a great singer. And one day I was sitting in my living room reading the newspaper, and she walks in and she says, "You want to hear my new CD?" And I thought, yeah, sure. It's a CD that she bought at the store or something.
Yeah.
You know? And she throws it in my lap, and it's her picture on the front cover.
Wow.
You made a CD? I said, yeah, this is my first album. And I thought, well, she didn't even ask me my opinion.
Right? How did this fly under your radar? She did not keep you in the loop on this?
Exactly. I was not in the loop. And then looking back on it, I'm kind of proud that she didn't ask me my opinion. She did it all on her own. And it's fantastic. It's a great album. The band is called Till Death Do Us Part. It's really moody rock music with a kind of modern twist to it. It's very cool stuff.
Well, much respect to your daughter. You got to know she's not trying to ride your coattail. She's going out and doing her own thing, you know?
She's doing her own thing, yeah, and I really respect that.
That's awesome. We're talking to Geoff Tate. He is bringing his band to the Chance on June 20th, celebrating 30 years of Operation Mindcrime. I want to ask you, what was your best time period during your Queensryche days, would you say, Geoff, back in the day? What was the best time for you when you had the most fun and everything was going pretty well for everybody?
Gosh, it was pretty fun the whole time. You know, we were together 30 years, and we did a lot of stuff. You know, we toured the world so many times, I lost count. Opened for so many different bands, released some really, boundary-pushing music, I feel. It was a good run, you know. Not too many bands can last that long, and we did, and I'm very proud of that.
Do you ever miss playing with your ex-bandmates in Queensryche? Does that ever cross your mind?
Well, it would be an interesting get-together, to say the least.
Yeah.
You know, the funny thing is now there's only 2 original members in the band.
Yeah, what's going on there?
Eddie Jackson. So, you know, I was thinking, you know, these tribute bands do so well nowadays. Mm-hmm. I could probably get more gigs and more work if I did a tribute to myself in Queensryche. So maybe I'll get like Chris DeGarmo, original guitar player, and Scott Rockenfield together. The 3 of us will make a tribute to ourselves.
There you go. There's something to think about. Oh, that's too funny. Have you spoke with any of those guys in recent times here?
No, not at all.
What about Chris DeGarmo? Have you heard from him?
No, I haven't talked with him in many years.
He just disappeared off the radar. Things must be all right for him, I guess, huh?
Or terribly wrong.
Yeah, sure, I guess. Let's hope not. I hope everything's okay.
That's kind of part of his mystique, you know.
Yeah.
You never know what he's doing or where he's at, or that kind of thing.
We're speaking with Geoff Tate. Looking forward to the 30th anniversary of Mindcrime. This is going to be a great show that you got going on. Now, obviously, this isn't your band, Operation Mindcrime. What's going on with that these days? That other project you have?
Well, I did my project.
Mm-hmm. You did the 3 albums.
It was always a project. It wasn't really a band. It was a project of like-minded people getting together to create these 3 albums, the trilogy albums, which have all been completed and they're all out now. So that project is done, and so I'm kind of gearing up for some new projects in the future. And this year, 2018, I guess it is, I'm just really spending the whole year touring, and trying to get everywhere I possibly can and finish it up for this year, you know.
Well, very cool. Well, the concept album trilogy that we're talking about, the 3 albums, they're out now. You can pick them up. Good stuff from Operation Mindcrime, The Key, Resurrection,
and the new reality. So look for those. Where could we find you on social media, Geoff? You have official website and Facebook page we can find you at?
Oh, yeah. On Facebook and Instagram and, the old .com site.
Sure.
I'm everywhere.
GeoffTate.com. Of course, that's GEOFF Tate.com. For those who don't know, you should know by this point. An amazing career, Geoff, you've had, and you're one of my favorite metal vocalists of all time. I'm so looking forward to seeing you again at the Chance. I know you recorded a video there once, actually, for one of the Queensryche albums. You did a duet with your daughter, and that video was filmed at the Chance.
That's right, it was. That's when Emily was a little tiny girl, and we recorded a song called Home Again for the American Soldier album.
A great song. And Emily's the one that's opening for you with Death Do Us Part.
Yeah, now she's all grown up.
They grow up fast, don't they, Geoff? I tell you.
They sure do.
You got to enjoy those moments. Well, it's going to be great to see your daughter and her band on the bill with you. Death Do Us Part will be opening for Geoff Tate as Geoff Tate and his band celebrate the 30th anniversary of one of the greatest metal albums ever, Operation Mindcrime. It's coming up June 20th at the Chance. Get your tickets. You can call the Chance at 845-471-1966 and ticketweb.com. Geoff, looking forward to seeing you again, and thanks for spending some time with us today. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, man. Good talking with you, Tigman.
That'll do it for this week's edition of the Metal Box. Thanks for tuning in. The rock and roll limo has arrived. We'll see you next week.